Engagement Day today again. I am Sylvia, your AMC Business Consultant. So today I am here to bring to you again another nutritious sharing, which I am going to cook quinoa salad, right? Quinoa salad. Now, why did I choose to cook quinoa today? Now, quinoa is a type of grain. It's a type of grain which is known to be very nutritious because of its good nutritional value. It has gained increasing popularity in the market, and if in case you haven't been trying quinoa salad yet, maybe you can give it a try. Alright, so how do we cook this quinoa salad? Now, quinoa is like brown rice. It is like brown rice. It is like any other grains like legumes, which contains phytic acid. Now, what is phytic acid? Phytic acid is actually a kind of chemical compound that could bind together with your iron, your magnesium, all the minerals that you consume in food, and it could bind together and block those kind of good nutrition from being absorbed by our digestion system. Now, I'm not here today to preach on nutrition, and because I'm not a qualified nutritionist, right? But let's go back to focus on our cooking. Now, today I'm sharing with you again an AMC cooking system and how does temperature and time could make a difference in your cooking. Now, cooking quinoa grain like this one, right? Why did I choose quinoa? Because now talking about nutritional goodness, right? It contains the nine types of amino acid, which is protein goodness that our body requires. So if I choose for a meal to cook a meal that doesn't contain a lot of meat, I'll be able to make good use of the quinoa grain because it simply contains some protein that our body needs, right? So let's start cooking. Now, I've soaked this quinoa for about 3 hours. Let's say you do not have time to actually soak your grains, all right? So what you can do is you can just soak it briefly for maybe half an hour, and then you cook it with the pressure cooker that AMC has to offer, right? So I am using today a 24 centimeter pot, 3.5 liter, 24 centimeter shallow pot here. Alright, now because I am not cooking a lot of quinoa, I'm cooking like just half a cup, or this is even less than half a cup of quinoa, which I have soaked for about 3 hours, right? So what I do is I want to use it with combination of our AMC Softiera. This is a Softiera dish, okay? So what I do is I'll pour about a cup of water into the pot. 200 ml of water, right? I'll put in my Softiera dish into the pot, pour in my grains, pour in all of these quinoa grains, just pour in a little bit of water, 100 ml. Okay, so this is about 50 grams of quinoa grains which I have soaked, and I am going to pour in 100 ml, sorry, 50 grams of quinoa grains with 100 ml of water, yeah? Pour it in like this. In fact, I'm doing this like how I am cooking rice, alright? You can use the same method, which is why I'm sharing, basically I'm sharing the same method, cooking method here with my brown rice or even basmati rice, okay? It's the same cooking method. Now, because normally I would love to put in my pink Himalayan salt, into the grain for cooking. But today I've forgotten to bring my Himalayan salt. So I've picked up this SIA salt and pepper. So I'll just pour in a little bit of salt. So 98 grains of salt, which means not so much of salt, just enough of salt, alright? Just 98 grains of salt. And then about a tablespoon of very nice olive oil. You can choose the fat that you would like to consume instead of using oil to cook, because you have to, because you do not want the pot to be sticking, right? Instead of, for that reason, we are having fat based on what we need, alright? So I'm covering it with my AMC pressure lid, which we call it the Secuquick lid, okay? Lock it and turning it on automatically. And I hook up my AMC audio term, which works like a remote control, alright, on soft setting and P program. Okay, so if you cannot see what is on here because my cameraman today is not assisting me, I am alone doing this Facebook Live. As you can see that the camera is actually stagnant. It doesn't matter. What I'm going to show you is on my AMC Cook and Go app, which is this app over here, which you may have. I am able to connect an AMC Cook and Go app with my cooking system so that I can monitor my cooking. I can simply monitor my cooking. It is connecting to the audio term. I'm basically monitoring my cooking here from my mobile app. And what I have set here to cook in this pot for my quinoa grains is I've set a P, which means 20 seconds, and on soft setting. Soft setting basically means temperature between 103 to 113 degrees Celsius. It is that accurate when come to our AMC cooking system. You'll be able to tell what's the cooking temperature that is suitable for our quinoa cooking, alright? So, based on a few research studies, that if you trust me, alright? So I have done some research because when we are cooking with the AMC system, it is not so much time, right? When I set it to cook, basically it is connected and you can see that there's blue light blinking here. Alright, blue light blinking here, which means it is automatically connected. So I have actually a lot of time when I am cooking at home, right? So what I do is, I will basically go on and do some research on nutrition. It is something that I love to do because we feed our family and we are eating because of nutritional value, alright? Of course, taste is as important, but we will also need to know that we are feeding our family with good nutrition and we are not doing the wrong thing, alright? So having a good utensil, a good cooking system at home that is convenient for us to carry on whichever and whatever recipe that we have is actually the utmost important thing, if you ask me, alright? So the next dish that I'm going to cook, in fact it is not the next dish, it's one dish that I'm using 2 pot, alright? So AMC 20 centimeter, 2.3 liter pot over here. So what I want to do here is I will preheat my pan. Preheat this shadow pot over here up to a 50 degrees Celsius. Alright, so I would select mid window. This is what I call a mid window in the AMC terminology. It also means 50 degrees Celsius. So when the pot has come up to 50 degrees Celsius over here, when it is preheated up to 50 degrees Celsius, the audio term will beep and I will be alerted to come back and attend to my cooking, alright? Now why do I want to preheat my pan? Because I simply want to sear my pieces of salmon cubes here a little bit. Now, when it comes to these salmon pieces, if you notice, I have cut it into very, very small cubes of my salmon, alright? I see a few of you are online, so hello everyone. Thank you for coming to my AMC Fun Engagement Day today. And if you have any questions, just feel free to say hello. Feel free to ask any questions, okay? I'll try to attend to you. Like unlike in the past when I have a cameraman to hold the camera for me, I am not able to read your messages, but today I'm able to read your messages. So I'll try to answer if you have any questions for me. All right, I'll try to share whatever that I know with you. Okay, I see Suhun, T Suhun, yeah, here. Hi, thanks for watching. Okay, so as what I've just done here is I'm preheating my pot here. I will be able to monitor, right? Now, speaking of searing my salmon, I want these salmon cubes. If I were to choose an ordinary oven, I have a very big capacity, a big volume oven, which I will not be able to, I don't say I will not be able to, but it is harder to retain the moisture level and the good fat that I have in these small pieces of salmon, alright? So this cooking with the AMC system is just it's very delicate, as it is able to help us to retain the goodness in every piece of our protein and every piece of our tiny vegetables that I have prepared here, okay? So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to make quinoa salad, alright? Quinoa salad with all of these vegetables. So what I have prepared here is some carrot. I have cubed up some carrot and some courgette. Courgette is known to be very good with its magnesium level. So if we are cooking with the AMC without any additional water or just sufficient water, I would say I have to be very careful with the term no additional water, alright? A lot of people are saying that when we are cooking with AMC, we do not need additional water. That is actually the correct term. And in the English term, when we say waterless, basically we are trying to say that we don't cook it with a big pot of water. That is what it actually means, alright? So when we don't cook with additional water, we will still need the best steaming method. What's the best steaming method? To retain most of the nutrients in cooking, generally cooking. Do you know? It is when you do not use so much water to soak your vegetables so that all the vitamins and minerals will actually reach out to the water. But just sufficient water is good because it will create the steam to bring all your vegetables to the cooked state, alright? So before I finish explaining everything, my quinoa salad is done. So what I will do is I'll turn it off. You see, we are able to, in our AMC pressure cooking, right, with our AMC Secuquick lid, so we are able to select the lower pressure temperature. There are two settings with the AMC pressure lid, alright, pressure cooking. Two settings. One is of a lower pressure and another one is of a higher pressure that is called the turbo. So today I am cooking this quinoa using a low pressure, which is soft pressure, right? So friends who have just come in, you may want to note this. Now, according to a few scientific research studies, when we want to remove phytic acid from our brown rice, from our legumes, from our quinoa, apart from soaking it in water, we are able to further reduce the phytic acid, which is a chemical compound that could bind together with all the other good nutrients in food and block our body from consuming all the goodness, alright? So when we cook our grains with our AMC pressure cooker, it is even better because it is able to reduce further the phytic level contained in it, alright? Apart from phytic acid, there's also others like tannin, like trypsin, but the most common one is phytic acid, which we have commonly known as, right? Commonly known, which is why some of you may be cooking your brown rice, some of you may be cooking your legumes and all that only after soaking in water, alright, hours of soaking. But sometimes when we are so busy in our routine, we've forgotten to soak all of this, right, to reduce whatever the nutrients, nutritional thing, anti-nutrients compound, we call it, alright. So we may have forgotten about it, But what do? When we have a good AMC cooking system at home, we can actually use the AMC cooking system to pressure cook these grains so that it will further reduce the phytic acid level. Alright, so it is able to do that. Okay, so I will just remove my quinoa on the lid. You see I am putting it on the pot lid because it is able to be used as a coaster, right? So I'll remove that. You can see from here. Alright, when the temperature reduces and retract back to before the soft window, that is when you are able to remove the lid. Right now, you will not be able to remove the lid no matter how you try, because it is a safety measure that it doesn't allow you to open up the lid when it is still very hot, right? So our cooking here. Now I have been trying to explain when we are trying to cook, when we are cooking vegetables, we do not add additional water, right? But just sufficient water. When you can imagine when we have all the vegetables in there, right? When we are cooking it, you are bringing up all the steam. Now, according to scientific research again, the best method to cook all our vegetables to retain the best nutrients is when we are able to steam all these vegetables. But in this day and age, when we are cooking with our AMC system, we do not have to add so much water in there, like in the traditional cooking where you have a wok full of water or a pot full of water in order to be able to steam. With our AMC system, you will only need like 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, and you'll be able to bring the whole pot with sufficient steam going on around in the pot to bring everything to the cooked state. Alright? So, when we have time now, let's say you are at home, you are cooking, you are making this salad, alright? When we have time, we can actually go ahead and cook, cut up some lemon, which is additional nutrients and additional flavor, taste that we are adding to our dish. Alright? So we have, you can cut your lemon slice, alright? And if you have more time, you can do something else. Alright? So now that the cooking pot has come up to the heat that we want it to be, it is like the 50 degrees Celsius. This is what I want to do here. I want to add in with an empty pot here. I am adding in my salmon pieces. Now I'm cooking like super little pieces here, okay? I'll just add it in to sear, right? So what I want to do here is, I want to overbake these salmon pieces. I use the lid as a coastal, and I will overturn my nami jimyo to bake this salmon on high heat for 1 minute. Okay, I'm setting it to the big window for 1 minute. Okay, so this is how it works. You can see the blue light here is blinking. Can you see the blue light? Over here it's blinking, and you have 1 minute setting. Alright, so we are baking, basically we are baking this salmon, and you can imagine when we are baking in such a small capacity with an AMC pot, it's so mini, right? And so the heat is so concentrated. When we are able to bake it with the concentrated heat, it will cook real fast. Okay, that is the reason why when we cook it real fast, the moisture level within your protein is not lost, it's not dried up easily. So when we consume it, it is still very moist and it's succulent, it's got that tanginess, that you really like from just a simple marinade. My salmon is just marinated with some salt and pepper, and that's about it, right? Because when we are cooking, we want to eat natural taste of food, alright? So 1 minute has passed. Now I'm turning this off. Let's take a look at our salmon, okay? Bake for 1 minute. And in such a small capacity pot. Alright? So you can see that the salmon is slightly brown. Alright? I also have a lot to say about why we shouldn't brown our meat, our protein so much, okay? So this is what I'm doing. I will just remove my salmon with my spatula. You can see that when you are gently searing it, you see the fat is very much retained in the pot. Right? Now I'll show you the brownness later, okay? Just remove it with the AMC spatula. I really love this one because it's so thin that you are able to remove like delicate pieces of your food easily from the pot. Alright? So this is how the pan looks like. It is non-sticking, and you can see that fat is retained inside the pot, right? So I'll pour it here, set aside. You can see the brownness of the salmon, right? Okay, set that aside, and now I'm going to cook the rest of the vegetables. What I do is just pour in everything. So I have 4 types of vegetables here. 4 types of vegetables. I have courgette, I have carrot, corn, and capsicum. Alright, 4 types, which makes a very colorful salad. So it's going to be a warm salad. Now what I do is I need 3 tablespoons of water. Cover it. And again, I'm going to cook this automatically. Right? I'll hook it up to cook on the carrot window for 2 minutes. Okay, you can see that blue light is blinking now, and it is connected with your audio term. Now I will show you how it looks like when it's on the screen. Okay, I've selected the AMC Cook and Go again, so it will connect. And this is what I'm doing here. I'm cooking all my vegetables for 2 minutes on carrot window. Alright, so this is very minimal water that I have added in order to retain most of the tasty richness of the vegetables that I have in here. Alright, so let's say I do not want to cook it for 2 minutes. Let's say I want to cook it for just 1 minute. Can I change? I can change through my mobile app. Alright, I'll just put a minus sign here, and it will cook for 1 minute for me. Alright, in case I have changed my mind when I am halfway cooking, when I'm running to my room already and I am still cooking here in the kitchen, right? I want to change my mind in case I have an emergency, I need to use the bathroom, alright? And then I realized that I have forgotten the setting, the timing is not supposed to be 2 minutes but just 1 minute. So I can still change it this way when I am running to the washroom for emergency, or when I am running to attend to my child or my grandchild, all right? So this is the convenience that AMC is bringing to us in our modern day of life. We may be attending to 1,000 things at the same time, right? So this is how we are able to make use of it. We do not have to panic when we are cooking now in the kitchen. When I put all my ingredients in, when I have prepared all my ingredients, the high heat and low heat will just be sorted out on its own when we do the right setting, okay? So like this one, in this case, I am cooking my vegetables in just 1 minute. 1 minute of simmering time. When it beeps, I can turn it off. Turn it off. Alright? Turn everything off. All the vegetables will be nicely steamed this way. You can see that there is no excessive water in the pot because we added just enough water. And this vegetables is in fact mixed with a little bit of that salmon fat. If you remember, we have seared the salmon earlier. So we have mixed with the salmon fat. In cooking with AMC, it is fast. It's so fast. You see, when we cook it for 1 minute, this vegetables is soft, and we are able to cut through the carrot like this. It will be crunchy, slightly crunchy when we cook for 1 minute. Alright? And when we are done with our vegetables, our quinoa is almost done too. Okay? Alright, the pressure has released. We are able to open up. Here's our quinoa. Now if you look at this quinoa over here, you can see that they've actually fluffed up very, very well. It has fully cooked and it is really soft. Texture is very, very soft. It's really nice. We've added a little bit of fat that you want and a little bit of oil that you want to have it. Just mix it a little. And we can take it out from that hot pot. Alright. What we can do is we want to mix everything into the vegetables. If you like other additional ingredients like olive, you can also add olive into this salad over here. Remember, when we are cooking with AMC, we have so much time, right? Those idle time will be when we are waiting. We will be able to just do a lot of things that we like. And look at these salmon pieces. I haven't shown you yet, right? When all these salmon pieces are really nicely seared to the brownness, and when you poke onto it, it's just still very much moist on the inside. It doesn't dry up as a conventional oven may dry the piece of meat. Alright, so we just add in the salmon pieces. And remember, we have prepared a slice of lemon. Add in some lemon juice. This is going to be a very healthy bowl for 2 or 1 person if you eat a bit more. Now if you are undergoing weight loss, let's say when you are on a weight loss program, you may want to consume less. But when you consume less of a calorie, it doesn't mean that you should consume less of a nutritional values in your body, right? Your body will still need so much of the good nutrients. So if we are cooking ourselves, we will be able to do this easily at home. It just it's just really perfect when you are able to cook yourself. You get to choose the ingredients that you like. You get to have a portion control of how much you want to take, rather than being carried away by whatever that the commercial restaurants have to offer. Now what I'm doing here is I will just add in a little bit of pepper that will make it really nice to the mouth, to the taste. Just like this, and we can dish out. Alright, now when we dish out, it is elegant, and we are serving up a course like this. This may not be a traditional meal, but if we are talking about traditional meal, we can get it everywhere. And there's a lot of heritage meal, heritage restaurant that is able to give you, able to make some really, really nice recipe. But in terms of healthy recipe, healthy cooking at home, I bet it is either very expensive when we are dining out to have some food like this, or it is just very rare that we will not be able to get it easily from where we are, right? So I have also prepared a piece of fig over here, fresh fig. Now, this is very healthy when we add additional fruit to our cooking. Alright, so what you can do is just add a piece or two of figs, and you are making this a gourmet dish from home. When everyone at home is able to have warm gourmet food like this, don't you think making our own cooking at home is really worth it? So we eat better and live better with our AMC cooking system. So if you have any need that you need to know about our AMC cooking system, you may feel free to join my One Lazy Cook Facebook page. Feel free to join as I am sharing some recipes and some insights on how and why AMC is so convenient, and it has gained popularity in the past, and it continues to gain popularity this day and age because of its continuous improvement in the system, and it is the system of the future. When we use our mobile phone, we will change typically every 2 years just because we want to get an updated phone, the latest technology, and to do wonders. Now it's the AI era as well. So in terms of cooking, why limit ourselves with traditional cooking, traditional pots and pans and traditional ways of cooking instead of having an AMC cooking system at home? So an AMC cooking system at home, it is the system of the future for you to ponder. Alright? The AMC premium cooking system is able to cook up nutritional meals, and it helps you to eat better and live better. So up until now, I think this is the end of my sharing, and I hope you have enjoyed this session and gained some insights about cooking with the AMC system. Thank you very much for joining me today. I am Sylvia from the AMC, and I am AMC Independent Business Consultant for the company. So contact me if you need any help. I'll be ready to serve you. Thank you for joining me today. Bye.